We're joined this afternoon by field hockey players Effie Drew, Rochelle Missouri, and Carly Dennis following a 4-1 victory over LaSalle College in North Atlantic Conference quarterfinal action here today at Mercy Field. Guys, congratulations on the win, but it wasn't necessarily a smooth ride to start. 1-0 down early, 6 minutes in, they score. What happened?
I think we had the ball in possession for a while, and so the second there's a transition, things like that, that's always the time for things like that to happen, really.
I think we were all up pushing for the ball to go into the circle, and then they were hanging the player up on our end, and there was just a drive up, and she got by a couple defenders and had a breakaway.
So before your game against Plymouth State this last week, you lost in overtime 4-3. You guys hadn't allowed a goal at home all year. Then, that 4-3 loss happened. It was a hard-fought game. It was kind of a lot of action. And then today, you're in the hole early, and suddenly, everybody knows that home field advantage is a big deal for your team. Mm-hmm. But what's going through your minds when you're down early like that?
I think the first second was almost it was deja vu to when we played them during the season. So for the first second, I personally was like, nah.
Uh-oh.
Like, this is not, this is really going to happen again? And I think we all felt like that, and then we looked at each other and we were like, no, this isn't happening.
It almost pumped us up more.
Yeah.
Once they scored, we knew we had to turn up the heat.
It was like a reality check. Like, we need to pick things up and
Refocus a little bit,
right,
maybe,
yeah, right.
and put you guys on the right track. And obviously, that's what happened. You guys went on to rattle off 4 unanswered goals, 2 by Effie. And Effie, you've kind of fallen off the stat sheet for a while. I know you've been dinged up a little bit, but today you come through when it matters, perhaps the most, getting the Monks, helping get the Monks into the semifinal round. 2 goals. What's it feel like to score here today after a little bit of a drought?
Well, it's definitely good to get out of the drought. And I'm just happy we got it in the circle. We pushed up the pressure. We got shots off, and I just got lucky and was in the right place on a couple of them.
She didn't get lucky. They were great goals.
And you scored the go-ahead goal. For those of us that weren't there or didn't see it, can you kind of describe that goal for us?
Honestly, I don't remember. I think we had a corner, and then coming off the corner, it just popped out to the left side, and I just was trying to get it on goal, lifted it up a little bit, and I think the goalie tried to get it with her shoulder, and it bounced off.
Now, speaking of corners, you guys seem to have had much greater success this year than you did last year. Last year you were ranked top 5 or something like that nationally. I know Coach Lewis didn't like to talk about it because the success wasn't there, and that maybe was kind of emblematic of how the season went for you last year. This year, of course, is a totally different team with a lot of the same faces. And the corners, what's going on with that? Why has that been more successful? Why have those been more successful this year?
We have a lot of different people in on them, and there's different combinations, and we actually had a totally different set from the beginning of the season to what we have now. Mm-hmm. And so I honestly am not completely sure as to what
I think we click. We know where we're supposed to be, and we know where we're gonna be in the case that the corner doesn't go that we're supposed to. We talk, and we practice them all the time. We spend a ton of time in practice just getting those down because we are skilled in getting them, so being able to execute is huge. So
I think patience, too. We're really patient in the circle. We don't take stupid shots. We wait, we pass it, and we're patient.
And as you said, last year we were ranked for that, and last year we had a hard time scoring in general. And so we realized, okay, we're ranked, what did you say, 5th?
It was top 5.
Yeah, top 5. I think it could have even been lower in the country. So clearly that's where we need to execute because that's where we're getting our opportunities. And we had, I want to say, 2 or 3 goals. 3 goals being ranked there. And so the beginning of the season, we knew that's embarrassing. It's literally embarrassing.
The coach didn't like talking
No, and so going into the season, we were like, that's not happening. So I think
ours.
that definitely was a goal and motivation. We know that's what we need to execute on to be successful.
Now, guys, let's talk playoff scenarios a little bit. Now that there's a game tonight that you're waiting to see the result of, just kind of talk about that and maybe the possibilities of facing either one of those teams.
So it'll be either Husson or Thomas, and they're both great teams. Great teams.
I mean, we're going to have to bring it no matter who we play. Our conference has been so close. We talked about it like in the last interview, how it's whoever shows up to play. It's
Mm-hmm.
who takes the game, everyone. It's been up and down. I mean, even during the season, LaSalle had beat us, and it's, I guess, no matter who we play, we're going to have to play our game. And
Yeah.
And we played both those teams at home too, and so we know that the grass is an advantage, but not by much. They were both still
They've
really
been here,
right.
they've done it.
They've been
Yeah.
here. They were both really strong on the grass, so we're gonna have to definitely bring it.
Although I think it needs to be said that, although your field is grass and one of the very few grass fields that you guys play on any longer, where maybe 6, 7 years ago, it was the majority of the fields were grass.
Right.
But I thought the field today looked fantastic.
felt good.
It's been playing well, it seems, and it doesn't seem to be maybe that much of an advantage for you guys because it's good for both teams.
Right, well, and everybody always says, like, oh, you guys have a huge home field advantage. Like, even one of the refs said to me one time, he's like, well, that's why they call it a home field advantage. And yeah, you can say that, but then you can also look at it as, okay, but all of our conference games besides 2 others are on turf.
Right.
So it's not even necessarily an advantage because it hurts us in a lot of ways too.
Yeah.
So I think by the end of the season, I think it ends up evening out. And especially if we get home field in playoffs, well, hey, we got
We worked
second
for it.
seed,
Yeah,
you know,
we won
so
it.
we deserved it.
So for the 2 returners at the table, Effie being a junior transfer, you guys last year ended, wasn't a good year and ended on a bitter note with a loss in the first round to New England College on the road. Now it seems like we're back on track to where we have been in past years playing conference tournament games at home. What is the mindset of this team going forward in this tournament?
Win.
Yeah, and I think it's great. At one of the last practices, we have a large sophomore class in, and one of the last practices, one of the sophomores said to me, "It's crazy we have home field this year." And I'm like, no, it's
No,
crazy
this
we
is
didn't
normal.
have home field last
Right,
year. And so
right.
I think this, I'm just so glad because this is set, and even though we're leaving, this is setting the school and our program back on track to where it's supposed to be.
Right. All right, guys. Well, congratulations on the win. Effie, congratulations on a spectacular day. And guys, good luck in the next round.
Thank you.